I'm Stella, 22 years old, and last week I boarded a one-way flight to Germany to start a life my family knew nothing about until the very last moment. 3 weeks before that flight, I walked across my college graduation stage completely alone. While I received my summa cum laude diploma in front of thousands of strangers, my parents were hosting a Super Bowl party with 50 guests back home. The seats reserved for my family? Empty. I sat in a parking lot afterward and cried until I couldn't breathe. But tucked inside my graduation gown was a letter I hadn't opened yet. That letter changed everything. Before I continue, if you find this story worth your time, please take a moment to like and subscribe, but only if you genuinely connect with what I'm sharing. And drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time it is there. Now let me take you back 6 weeks, to the phone call that finally broke something inside me. 6 weeks before graduation, I'm sitting cross-legged on my dorm room bed, phone pressed to my ear. My heart beats a little faster than usual because I'm about to ask my parents for something I've never asked before. Mom, I wanted to confirm the date, I say. Graduation is February 9th, 2 p.m. Silence stretches across the line. I hear my father's TV blaring in the background, some sports commentary. Sweetheart, Mom finally says, her voice careful. You know what day that is, right? I know, of course I know. Super Bowl Sunday, I answer. But the ceremony is only 2 hours. The stadium is 40 minutes from home. You could make it back before halftime. More silence. Then Dad's voice cuts in. He must have grabbed the phone. Stella, Tyler has important guests coming that day. There's a scout from the NFL. This could be his big break. My chest tightens. Tyler. Always Tyler. Dad, I'm graduating with honors. I've been working toward this for 4 years. And we're proud of you, Mom jumps back in. Her tone the practiced sweetness I've heard 1,000 times. But honey, graduations happen every year. Super Bowl only comes once. I want to scream. I want to remind them that I worked 3 jobs to pay for this degree while they bought Tyler a new car, hired him a personal trainer, flew him to tryouts across the country. But I don't. I've learned that screaming changes nothing in this family. I understand, I whisper. Good girl. We'll celebrate later, okay? Send us pictures. The line goes dead. I sit there, phone still in my hand, and realize something. Not once did they ask what honors I received. Not once did they ask if I was excited. Not once did they ask if I needed anything. To them, my graduation was just another Tuesday. I should explain how we got here. 4 years ago, when I was 18, I received my college acceptance letter with a partial scholarship. I ran downstairs, waving it like a golden ticket. Mom, Dad, I got in, with a scholarship. Dad barely looked up from his laptop. That's nice, sweetheart, but we need to talk about money. What followed was a conversation that shaped everything. We can't afford to pay for your school, Dad said flatly. Tyler needs specialized training this year. His coach says he has real potential. But the scholarship covers 60%. Stella. Mom's hand found my shoulder, her touch gentle but firm. You've always been so independent. Tyler needs more support. You understand, right? I understood perfectly. From that day forward, I became a ghost in my own family. I applied for every scholarship I could find. I worked as a barista at 6 a.m., a teaching assistant by noon, and a tutor until midnight. I ate instant ramen 5 days a week to save money. My GPA climbed to 3.9, while my bank account hovered near 0. Meanwhile, Tyler got a brand new Mustang for his 19th birthday. For driving to practice, Mom explained. Tyler got a personal nutritionist. Athletes need proper fuel, Dad insisted. Tyler flew first class to training camps across the country. Investments in his future, they called it. In 4 years of college, I went home exactly 6 times. Each visit felt the same. Help mom cook for Tyler's friends, hear about Tyler's games, watch Tyler open gifts while I sat in the corner. Not once did anyone ask about my research paper on social inequality. Not once did anyone ask about my dean's list placement. But there was one person who noticed, a professor who would change my life. I just didn't know it yet. The night after that phone call, I dial a different number, the one person who never made me feel invisible. Grandma Grace? Stella, my darling. Her voice wraps around me like a warm blanket. At 80 years old, my grandmother still sounds sharper than most people half her age. 30 years of teaching high school English will do that to you. I heard about your parents, she says before I can explain. Your mother called me, tried to justify it. And I told her she was making a terrible mistake. Grandma Grace never minces words. But you know your mother. She thinks the sun rises and sets on that football. I laugh despite myself. It's a bitter sound. Grandma, I don't know if I can do this alone. You're not alone. Her voice turns fierce. I'll be there, Stella. Even if I have to crawl, I'll be in that audience. My throat tightens. Grandma Grace lives 2 hours away. Her knees are bad. Her heart isn't what it used to be, and yet she's willing to make the drive that my parents won't. You don't have to. Hush. This is non-negotiable. She pauses. Now tell me the truth. Is there something else going on? You sound different, like you're carrying a secret. I freeze. How does she always know? It's nothing, Grandma. Just nervous about after graduation. She doesn't sound convinced. Well, whatever it is, you can tell me when you're ready. Just remember, you don't need their approval to shine, sweetheart. You never did. After we hang up, I stare at the ceiling. Grandma Grace is right about one thing. I am carrying something. Something I'm not ready to share with anyone. Not yet. 1 week before graduation, I'm called into Dr. Margaret Smith's office. Dr. Smith has been my thesis advisor for 2 years, a sharp-eyed woman in her late 50s who never sugarcoats anything. She's the only professor who ever pushed me to submit my research to academic journals. The only one who treated me like I had something worth saying. Close the door, Stella. She gestures to the chair across from her cluttered desk. Sit. I obey, my heart hammering. Did I do something wrong? Is there a problem with my thesis? I've been watching you for 4 years, she begins. You're one of the most dedicated students I've ever taught. Your thesis on socioeconomic barriers in education? It's exceptional work. Thank you, Dr. Smith, but she holds up a hand. I'm not finished. 8 months ago, I submitted your name for something, a nomination. I didn't tell you because I didn't want to get your hopes up. My pulse quickens. A nomination for what? She reaches into her desk drawer and pulls out a sealed envelope. It's cream-colored, heavy, official-looking. I catch a glimpse of a logo I don't immediately recognize. Results should be in here, she says, sliding it toward me. But don't open it now. Wait until after the ceremony. I want graduation day to be... She pauses, choosing her words carefully. Memorable for you, one way or another. I take the envelope with trembling fingers. It feels impossibly light for something so potentially life-changing. What is this? Dr. Smith smiles, a rare expression on her usually serious face. Let's just say that your hard work may have opened doors bigger than you imagined. Congratulations in advance, Stella. Whatever happens next, you earned it. I tuck the envelope into my graduation gown that night, and I wait. 5 days before graduation, I drive home to pick up some old belongings from my childhood room. The moment I pull into the driveway, I know something is different. There's a massive banner stretched across the garage door. Tyler's future NFL star party, Super Bowl Sunday. I sit in my car for a full minute, just staring at it. Inside, the house buzzes with activity. Mom is on the phone ordering catering. Dad is setting up a second TV in the backyard. Tyler is lounging on the couch, scrolling through his phone like a king surveying his kingdom. Stella, Mom waves distractedly. I didn't know you were coming. Just grabbing some stuff. I keep my voice neutral. Big party? 50 guests, can you believe it? The Patterson Scout is bringing his whole family. This could be Tyler's moment. Tyler doesn't even look up. Hey, sis. I wander toward the kitchen, taking in the piles of decorations, football-shaped plates, team banners, a massive sheet cake being designed with Tyler's face on it. Do you need help? I hear myself ask. It's pathetic, really, this desperate attempt to be included. Mom waves me off. No, you should head back to school. Don't you have that ceremony thing soon? That ceremony thing. 4 years of my life reduced to 3 dismissive words. It's Sunday, Mom. 2 p.m., same day as your party. Right. She's already turning back to her phone. Oh, what day did you say again? I told her a week ago. I told her 3 days ago on the phone. Never mind, I whisper. On my way out, I pass the entryway table. The party invitations are stacked there, ready to mail. I pick one up. Join us to celebrate Tyler Whitney and family. My name isn't anywhere on it. 10 p.m., the night before graduation. I'm pacing my dorm room, phone in hand, gathering courage I'm not sure I have. One last try. That's what I keep telling myself. One last chance for them to show up. I dial home. The noise hits me immediately. Laughter, clinking glasses, music. They're already celebrating. A pre-party for the pre-party. Hello? Mom's voice is light, giddy. I can tell she's been drinking. Mom, it's Stella. Honey, hold on! I hear her shout to someone. It's my daughter, the one graduating tomorrow. At least she remembered. Mom, I wanted to tell you something. My voice shakes. I'm graduating summa cum laude, and I was chosen to give the student representative speech. Silence. For one hopeful heartbeat, I think she's processing the magnitude of this. Student representative, out of 3,000 graduates. Oh, that's wonderful, sweetie. Hold on. Her voice goes distant. Richard, Tyler's scout just texted. He's bringing 3 extra people. Mom? She's back, distracted. Sorry, honey, what were you saying? Something about a speech? I was selected to speak at graduation, as the student representative. That's nice, sweetheart. Listen, I need to call the caterer. Mom, please, this is important to me. Dad's voice booms in the background. Who's on the phone? Tell them to call back, we're busy. Stella, honey, I'll call you back tomorrow, okay? Love you. Beep, beep, beep. She hung up. I sit on the edge of my bed, staring at the graduation gown hanging on my closet door. Dr. Smith's envelope is tucked in the inside pocket. I haven't opened it. Somehow it feels like the only thing in my life right now that might still hold possibility. Tomorrow I walk alone. But maybe I'll walk toward something bigger than they could ever imagine. Super Bowl Sunday, 6 a.m. I wake before my alarm, staring at the pale winter light creeping through my dorm window. Today should feel momentous, the culmination of 4 years of sacrifice, sleepless nights, and silent tears. Instead, it feels hollow. I shower. I style my hair carefully. I put on the dress I bought at a thrift store for $12. Navy blue, simple, the nicest thing I own. Then I lift my graduation gown from its hanger and slip it on. The fabric is heavier than I expected. Or maybe that's just the weight of everything else. My phone buzzes. I grab it too quickly, hating myself for hoping. Tyler. Good luck today, sis. Sent at 2:47 a.m. He was probably drunk. Nothing from Mom, nothing from Dad. Then another buzz. Grandma Grace. On my way, my darling. Traffic is heavy, but I will be there. I'm so proud of you I could burst. I smile for the first time all morning. I press my hand against my gown, feeling the outline of Dr. Smith's envelope in the inside pocket. Still sealed, still waiting. Whatever's inside, good news or bad, I've decided it belongs to today. Not yesterday's disappointments, not tomorrow's uncertainties. Today. I take a selfie in the mirror. Cap slightly crooked, gown billowing, eyes red-rimmed but determined. I don't know who to send it to, so I just save it. The Uber arrives at 8. I grab my things, take one last look at my empty dorm room, and head out. Big day, huh? The driver asks cheerfully. Family meeting you there? I pause just a second too long. They're taking a different route. He doesn't push further. We drive in comfortable silence while I watch the world blur past, carrying me toward a ceremony where the only people who should care the most won't be watching. The stadium is a sea of chaos and joy. Everywhere I look, families cluster together, mothers adjusting their children's caps, fathers snapping photos, grandparents dabbing tears before the ceremony even starts. Balloons bob in the February wind. Homemade signs declare, "Congrats, Sarah," and "We're so proud of you, Marcus." I wade through this ocean of love, searching for Section C, Row 12. The family seating section has a small placard with my name, Stella Whitney, seats 4 to 7. 4 seats. I reserved 4 seats out of desperate hope. All 4 are empty. No, wait, not entirely. On seat 4, there's a familiar knitted scarf, faded purple wool, handmade with tiny mistakes in the stitching that Grandma Grace always laughed about. She was here. She reserved the seats. My phone vibrates. Grandma Grace, sweetheart, there's been a terrible accident on the highway. Ambulances everywhere. I'm stuck in traffic that isn't moving. I'm so sorry. I'm trying everything. Please don't wait for me. My fingers hover over the screen. I type back, "It's okay, Grandma. I love you. Don't stress." But it's not okay. I turn away from the empty seats and walk toward the graduate assembly area. Around me, classmates are hugging their families goodbye, promising to wave when their names are called. A girl next to me is crying happy tears as her mother pins a flower to her gown. I stand alone, hands clasped in front of me, watching. A man in the row behind the family section catches my eye. He's holding a sign for someone else, but he notices me staring at my empty seats. He gives me a small, sympathetic nod. A stranger's kindness. That's what I get today. The processional music begins. I straighten my shoulders, touch the envelope in my pocket one more time, and take my place in line. Time to walk alone. The ceremony opens with a swell of music, and 3,000 graduates begin the slow processional march into the stadium. I'm somewhere in the middle of the W surnames, shuffling forward with my peers, while flashbulbs pop from the stands like fireflies. The announcer's voice booms through the speakers, welcoming families, acknowledging distinguished guests, celebrating 4 years of hard work. I keep my eyes forward. Don't look at the family section, don't count the empty seats. But I can't help it. As we settle into our rows, I glance toward Section C. 4 empty seats. Grandma's scarf still draped across one, a lonely splash of purple in a sea of cheering families. My phone buzzes against my thigh. I shouldn't check it. We were told to silence our devices, but I can't resist. It's an Instagram notification. Tyler posted a new story. Against my better judgment, I tap it open. The video fills my screen. My parents' backyard transformed into a Super Bowl paradise, streamers in team colors, a massive grill sizzling with burgers, Dad standing at the center, beer in hand. grinning at the camera. Pre-game party is lit, Tyler's voice narrates. Let's go, Chiefs! Best Super Bowl party in Texas right here. In the background, I see Mom laughing with a group of women. She's wearing a team jersey and holding a plate of wings. She looks happier than I've seen her in years. I close Instagram. My hands are shaking. The girl next to me notices. You okay? Fine. I force a smile. Just nervous about my speech. Oh my God, you're the student rep? That's amazing. Where's your family sitting? I'll wave to them for you. I don't answer. I just point vaguely toward Section C and pray she doesn't look too closely. The chancellor takes the podium. The ceremony officially begins. Please welcome our student representative, Stella Whitney. Applause ripples through the stadium. I stand on legs that feel like jelly, smooth down my gown, and begin the longest walk of my life. The podium looms ahead, massive and intimidating. 3,000 graduates, 10,000 audience members, and somewhere in Section C, 4 empty seats. I grip the edges of the podium, adjust the microphone, and look out at the sea of faces. For a moment, I can't speak. The words I'd prepared dissolve in my throat. Then I see her. Grandma Grace, white-haired and winded, sliding into seat 4. She made it. She actually made it. She gives me a thumbs up, tears streaming down her face. I find my voice. 4 years ago, I arrived on this campus with 2 suitcases and $17 in my checking account. My voice echoes through the speakers. I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have a safety net. What I had was determination and the belief that hard work would speak louder than circumstances. The crowd is silent, attentive. Today, I want to speak to every student who worked a midnight shift before an 8 a.m. exam, to everyone who chose textbooks over groceries, to every person sitting in these seats who had no one in the audience cheering their name. My eyes find Grandma Grace. Just her. Just one person. Success isn't about being loved by everyone. Success is knowing your worth when no one's watching. We don't need permission to shine. We never did. I step back. For a heartbeat, nothing happens. Then the stadium erupts, a standing ovation, not from everyone, but from enough. Students are clapping, some are crying. I walk back to my seat, legs still trembling. Grandma Grace is on her feet, applauding so hard, I worry about her heart. One person. That's all it takes to feel seen. The names roll on alphabetically, an endless river of achievement. Johnson, Martinez, Nguyen, Thompson, each name punctuated by screams from the stands, by air horns and cowbells, and the joyful chaos of families celebrating. Then, Stella Whitney, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, departmental honors in sociology. I rise. The walk to the stage feels both endless and instantaneous. The chancellor shakes my hand, presses the diploma into my palm. Cameras flash. I turn to face the audience, to wave at whoever might be watching. Section C. Row 12. Grandma Grace is there, standing despite her bad knees, waving both arms like she's directing air traffic. Just her. Only her. But then, movement behind her. The man I noticed earlier, the stranger with the sign for someone else, he's standing too. He's clapping. He must have seen my empty seats. He must have understood. A small gesture from a stranger. It breaks something open in my chest. I wave back, not just at Grandma, but at him too, at every person in this stadium who showed up for someone they love. Walking off stage, I press my hand against my gown. The envelope is still there, still sealed. My phone buzzes. I check it as I return to my seat. A new Instagram story from Mom. Posted 3 minutes ago. I tap it open. Dad is doing a victory dance in the backyard. On the TV behind him, the Super Bowl broadcast shows kickoff. Mom is filming, laughing so hard the camera shakes. Best Super Bowl party ever, the caption reads. Posted at 2:47 p.m. Central Time, the exact moment I received my summa cum laude diploma. I close Instagram, slide my phone into my pocket, and sit in silence until the ceremony ends. The ceremony ends with a cascade of caps thrown skyward. I don't throw mine. I clutch it against my chest and push through the celebrating crowds toward the parking lot. Grandma Grace texts that she's resting in her car. The drive and the rush exhausted her, and she wants me to take my time. I order an Uber to take me to her. The app says 12 minutes. 12 minutes to stand alone in a parking lot while families stream past, arms full of flowers and balloons, voices bright with pride. I find a bench near the edge of the lot and sit down. Around me, the world celebrates. A father lifts his daughter onto his shoulders. A mother pins a corsage onto her son's gown. Two grandparents unfurl a banner. Our little girl is a doctor now. The tears come without warning, not gentle tears, not dignified tears. I'm talking about the kind of crying that doubles you over, that steals your breath, that makes your whole body shake. 4 years of loneliness, 4 years of being the invisible daughter, 4 years of Tyler needs more and Stella can handle herself. It all comes flooding out in an empty parking lot on Super Bowl Sunday. My Uber arrives. The driver, a kind-faced woman in her 40s, takes one look at me and hands over a packet of tissues without a word. Rough day? I want to laugh. Instead, I just nod. Family stuff? I nod again. She doesn't press. She just drives, letting me cry in her back seat while graduation parties bloom across the city. After a few minutes, I reach into my gown, my fingers finding the envelope. It's still there, still sealed. Whatever's inside, it's time to find out. I slide my finger under the flap and tear it open. The paper is thick, official, embossed with a logo I now recognize, the Fulbright program. My hands tremble as I unfold the letter. Dear Ms. Whitney, we are pleased to inform you that you have been selected as a Fulbright Scholar for the 2024 to 2025 academic year. Your research proposal on socioeconomic barriers in educational access has been chosen for funding at Heidelberg University, Germany. This award includes full tuition, a monthly living stipend, travel allowances, and a research assistant position at one of Europe's premier institutions. The total value of your scholarship exceeds $100,000. Congratulations! Out of over 10,000 applicants this year, you are among the 800 chosen worldwide. I read it 3 times. Then a fourth. Fulbright, Heidelberg, Germany, $100,000. Dr. Smith nominated me 8 months ago. She never said a word. She wanted this to be a surprise, a gift for the girl whose family never showed up. The Uber driver glances in her rearview mirror. Good news? I look up, tears still streaming, but something else mixing in now, something that feels dangerously close to hope. I think so, I whisper. I think my life just changed. She smiles. Well then, congratulations, honey, whatever it is. I clutch the letter to my chest, watching the Texas suburbs blur past my window. Somewhere across this city, my parents are eating buffalo wings and cheering for a football game. They have no idea that their forgotten daughter just received one of the most prestigious academic honors in the world. And for the first time in 4 years, I don't want to tell them, not yet, because I'm starting to realize something. I don't need them to see my worth for it to be real. I just need to see it myself. Grandma Grace's car is parked at the edge of the lot. I find her reclined in the driver's seat, eyes closed, that familiar purple scarf draped across her lap. I tap on the window and she startles awake, then breaks into the widest smile I've seen in years. My brilliant girl, She fumbles with the door, struggles out of the car, and pulls me into a hug so tight I can barely breathe. I made it. I was stuck behind that accident for 2 hours, but I made it. I know. I saw you. I hug her back just as fiercely. You were the only one. She pulls back, studies my face with those sharp eyes that miss nothing. You've been crying, and she tilts her head. Something else. You're different. What happened? I can't hide anything from her. I never could. Without a word, I hand her the letter. She reads it slowly, lips moving silently. I watch her expression shift. Confusion, then recognition, then disbelief. Stella Marie Whitney. Her voice cracks. Is this real? It's real, Grandma. She sits back down heavily, one hand pressed to her chest. For a terrifying moment, I think I've given her a heart attack. Then she laughs, a full, joyful, tearful laugh that echoes across the empty parking lot. My granddaughter, a Fulbright scholar. She looks up at me, eyes shining. Do your parents know? No. Good. The word comes out fierce, surprising me. Don't tell them. Not yet. Grandma? She takes my hand. My birthday is in 3 weeks. The whole family will be there. Let me handle this. Let them see what they've been ignoring all these years, in front of everyone. I hesitate. I don't want to make a scene. It's not a scene, sweetheart. Her grip tightens. It's a reckoning. The next 3 weeks pass in a strange kind of silence. I return to campus to finish packing up my dorm. I start paperwork for my German visa. I email Dr. Smith a thank you so full of gratitude, I have to rewrite it 4 times because I keep crying on my keyboard. She writes back, I always knew you had it in you. Now go show the world. Mom calls exactly once, a week after graduation. Stella, just checking in. Did everything go okay at your ceremony thing? Ceremony thing. I've stopped being hurt by this. I've moved into a numb acceptance. It went fine, Mom. Good, good. Oh, Tyler's tryout got rescheduled. The scout wants him to come to Dallas next month. Isn't that exciting? Very exciting. You should come home and celebrate with us. Actually, I'm pretty busy. Job interviews and stuff. Oh? A flicker of interest. What kind of job? Still figuring it out. I have a few options. Well, don't be too picky. With a sociology degree, you can't afford to be choosy. The old Stella would have defended herself. The new Stella just says, I'll keep that in mind. Dad doesn't call at all. Tyler texts once, Miss you, sis. When you coming home? I reply, Grandma's birthday. See you there. Meanwhile, I book a one-way flight to Frankfurt. Departure, 2 days after Grandma Grace's party. I tell no one except Grandma. She calls me every night, giddy with planning. I've worked out the perfect moment, she whispers one evening. Right after I cut the cake, I'll ask everyone to share their good news. Tyler will brag about his scout. And then I tell them. And then you tell them. I can hear her smile through the phone. They won't know what hit them. I drive into my hometown on a Friday evening, 3 weeks after graduation. Instead of going to my parents' house, I check into a motel off the highway, the kind with peeling wallpaper and a coffee maker that sputters like it's dying. It's not glamorous, but it's mine. My space, my terms. Mom texts around 7. Are you in town yet? Your room is ready? I reply, staying at a friend's place. See you at Grandma's tomorrow. She doesn't question it. She probably doesn't care enough to question it. I spread my documents across the motel bed. Fulbright acceptance letter, Heidelberg research position confirmation, German visa application, one-way flight itinerary. Tomorrow, all of this becomes public. My phone rings. Grandma Grace. You ready, sweetheart? I think so. I'm sitting cross-legged on the scratchy comforter, staring at my reflection in the TV screen. Grandma, what if they don't care? What if I tell them and they just shrug? Silence. Then, that's not the point, Stella. Then what is? The point is that you'll know. You'll know that you stood up, spoke your truth, and walked away with your head high. What they do after that is on them. She's right. I've spent 22 years waiting for my parents to see me. Tomorrow, I stop waiting. What time should I arrive? 2 o'clock. I'll make sure Tyler brags first. It'll make your moment land harder. I laugh despite my nerves. You're devious, Grandma. I'm 80 years old. I've earned the right to be devious. Her voice softens. Sleep well, my darling. Tomorrow is your day. After we hang up, I fold the letters carefully, slide them into my purse, and lie back on the bed. Tomorrow, I stop being invisible. Tomorrow, I say goodbye. Now, I want to pause here for just a moment, because things are about to get intense. I'm curious, what do you think my parents will do when they hear the news? Drop a 1 in the comments if you think they'll apologize. Drop a 2 if you think they'll get angry. And hey, if you've been writing this story with me from the beginning, hit that subscribe button. The biggest moment is coming up next. Okay, back to the story. Grandma Grace's house sits at the end of a quiet street. A modest craftsman with a wraparound porch and gardens, she refuses to let anyone else tend. Today, cars line the driveway and spill onto the lawn. At least 30 people are here. Aunts, uncles, cousins I haven't seen in years, old friends of Grandma's from her teaching days. I park down the street and take a moment to collect myself. My purse holds everything: the Fulbright letter, the Heidelberg confirmation, the flight itinerary, weapons of truth wrapped in official letterhead. The moment I walk through the door, the family chaos swallows me whole. Stella, look at you all grown up. How's job hunting, sweetheart? Your mom says you're struggling. Have you met Tyler's new girlfriend? She's adorable. Tyler is holding court in the living room, surrounded by aunts who hang on his every word. He's wearing an NFL team jersey, of course he is, and gesturing expansively as he tells some story about his latest tryout. The scout said I've got real potential, he's saying. Could be looking at a practice squad spot by next season. Dad stands behind him, chest puffed with pride. That's my boy. Future star right there. I slip past, unnoticed, heading for the kitchen where Grandma is directing traffic like a general commanding troops. Her eyes find mine immediately. She gives me the smallest nod. Soon, she mouths. I nod back and take my position near the back of the room, watching my family orbit around Tyler like he's the sun. Mom is laughing at something he said, her hand on his shoulder, the picture of maternal devotion. No one has asked about my graduation. No one has asked about my plans. That's fine. They'll learn soon enough. The cake comes out, 80 candles flickering in the afternoon light. It's almost time. We sing happy birthday. Grandma blows out the candles, all 80 of them somehow, and the room erupts in applause. Then she raises her hand, and the chatter dies down. Thank you all for coming. Her voice is steady, commanding. 30 years of teaching gave her the kind of presence that demands attention. 80 years is a long time to be alive. I've seen a lot of things, good things, hard things. She pauses, scanning the room. Today, I want to hear from my family. Share your good news. Let an old woman feel proud of what she's built. Immediately, Tyler steps forward. Of course he does. Well, Grandma, since you asked, he grins, all confidence and charm. I just had my best tryout yet. Coach said I could be looking at a practice squad contract by fall. Dad whoops. Mom clutches her hands together. The relatives applaud politely. Grandma nods. That's lovely, Tyler. Hard work pays off. She looks around the room again, her gaze landing on an aunt who just got promoted, a cousin who's expecting twins. Each person shares their news, basking in the glow of family approval. Then Grandma's eyes find mine. Stella. Her voice cuts through the murmur of conversation. My oldest grandchild, you just graduated from college. Any news to share with the family? The room turns toward me. I feel their eyes, some curious, some indifferent, some already dismissing whatever I might say. Mom leans over to Aunt Carol. She's still looking for work. You know how it is with those liberal arts degrees. I hear her. I pretend I don't. Grandma raises her hand again. Let Stella speak for herself, Donna. Her voice has an edge I've never heard before. Go on, sweetheart. Tell them. I reach into my purse and pull out the letter. I step forward, the letter steady in my hands. I do have news. My voice doesn't shake. I'm surprised by that. I wanted to share it with the whole family. I unfold the paper, hold it up where everyone can see the official Fulbright letterhead. 3 weeks ago on graduation day, I received this letter. I've been selected as a Fulbright scholar, full funding to conduct research at Heidelberg University in Germany for 2 years. Silence. Complete, absolute silence. Then Aunt Carol speaks first. Wait, Fulbright? The international scholarship? The one that's impossible to get? One of 800 chosen worldwide, I confirm. Out of over 10,000 applicants, the total package is worth more than $100,000. The murmuring begins. I watch faces shift, confusion, shock, disbelief. Cousin Marcus, who went to law school, is staring at me with his mouth open. Uncle Jim is Googling something on his phone. Holy shit, he mutters. Fulbright scholars include Nobel Prize winners, Rhodes scholars. It says here the acceptance rate is like 8%. Mom's face has gone pale. Dad looks like he's been slapped. Grandma Grace is beaming. My brilliant granddaughter, tell them when you received this news, Stella. I look directly at my parents. I received this letter on graduation day, the same day you hosted a Super Bowl party instead of watching me receive my summa cum laude diploma. The same day I gave the student representative speech to 3,000 people, alone. The silence that follows is different, heavier. The relatives are looking at my parents now, their expressions shifting from admiration for me to something else entirely. Mom opens her mouth to speak. I continue before she can. I didn't tell you because I wanted you to hear it like this, in front of everyone, so you'd finally understand. Dad finds his voice first. Stella, why didn't you tell us sooner? We would have what? My voice stays calm. Changed your Super Bowl plans? Come to my graduation? I called you the night before. I told you I was giving a speech. Mom hung up. Mom's eyes are wet. That's not... We were busy. The scout. I nod slowly. Tyler's scout. Always Tyler's scout. Uncle Jim shifts uncomfortably. Hold on. You two didn't go to her graduation? It was Super Bowl Sunday, Dad protests, but his voice has lost its authority. We had 50 guests. We couldn't just cancel. Cancel? Aunt Carol cuts in. Richard, she graduated summa cum laude. She won a Fulbright. My kids would kill for those achievements. The room is turning. I can feel it, the tide of opinion shifting away from my parents toward me. 30 pairs of eyes now see what I've always seen. Grandma Grace stands up slowly, her presence silencing the growing murmurs. I'm 80 years old. Her voice is steel-wrapped in velvet. I've watched this family for decades. I've stayed quiet about many things. But not today. She looks at Mom, her own daughter, with an expression I've never seen before. Donna, you chose a football game over your daughter's greatest achievement. Richard, You've poured everything into Tyler while Stella worked 3 jobs to pay for her own education. She shakes her head. I raised you better than this. Mom is sobbing now. Mama, we didn't know. You didn't ask. Grandma's words land like hammers. That's the problem. You never asked. And now she's leaving. Because you don't deserve to keep her here. The room goes completely still. I take a breath. There's one more thing they need to hear. Mom rises from her chair, mascara streaking down her face. Stella, you have to understand. We never meant to hurt you. We just thought you were always so capable. Capable. I let the word hang in the air. Yes, I was capable because I had no other choice. You made sure of that. We love you both equally, Dad insists, but even he seems to hear how hollow it sounds. Tyler just needed more support. Did he? I tilt my head. Let me remind you of something, Dad. In 4 years of college, you bought Tyler a car, paid for a personal trainer, flew him first class to tryouts. You know what you gave me? A phone call once a month, if I was lucky, asking when I'd get a real job. Aunt Carol is whispering to Uncle Jim. Cousin Marcus won't meet my parents' eyes. You never asked my GPA. I'm not shouting, I don't need to. You never asked about my thesis. You didn't know I was nominated for Fulbright because you never asked about my life at all. Dad stands. Now wait just a minute. Richard. Grandma's voice cuts through. Sit down. Let her finish. He sits. I've never seen my father take orders from anyone, but right now, in front of everyone he's ever tried to impress, he has no choice. Mom tries a different approach. Stella, we can fix this. We can do better. You don't have to go to Germany. Stay here. Let us make it up to you. That's not how this works, Mom. I keep my voice gentle but firm. I'm not punishing you. I'm making a choice. For the first time in my life, I'm choosing myself. The words settle over the room like a verdict. Mom collapses back into her chair, shoulders shaking. Wait. Tyler's voice cuts through the tension. Everyone turns to look at him. The golden child, the favorite son. He's standing now, his face pale beneath his athletic tan. For once, he doesn't look confident. He looks lost. Stella. He takes a step toward me. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know it was this bad. I know you didn't, Tyler. But I should have. He runs a hand through his hair, agitated. I should have asked. I should have noticed. I was so caught up in my own stuff that I assumed you were fine, that you didn't need anything. Because that's what they told you, I say quietly. That's what they told everyone. He turns to our parents, and for the first time in my memory, there's anger in his voice. Is this true? Did you really skip her graduation? While I was in the backyard playing beer pong? Mom doesn't answer. Dad stares at the floor. Jesus, Tyler laughs, but it's not funny. I've been walking around thinking I was the big success story. Practice squad potential. He gestures at me. She won a Fulbright, out of 10,000 people, and we were grilling burgers. Tyler, honey, it's complicated, Mom starts. No, it's not. He shakes his head. It's really not complicated at all. We dropped the ball. All of us. He looks at me. Sis, I'm sorry. I'm not apologizing for Mom and Dad. They need to do that themselves. But I'm sorry I never paid attention. I want to be angry at him. Part of me still is. But there's genuine regret in his eyes, and I recognize it for what it is, the first crack in the wall. Thank you, Tyler, I say. That means something. It doesn't fix everything, but it's a start. I reach into my purse one more time. There's one more thing. I pull out the printed flight itinerary. I bought my ticket to Germany 3 weeks ago. One way. I leave in 2 days. Mom's head snaps up. 2 days? Stella, that's too soon. We haven't even had time to. Time to what, Mom? I keep my voice level. Talk? You've had 22 years to talk to me. You chose not to. Dad stands again, this time with something desperate in his face. I won't allow this. You can't just leave the country without. Without what, Dad? Your permission? I almost laugh. I'm 22. I have a fully funded scholarship to one of the best universities in Europe. I don't need your permission for anything. But you can't. He stops. Realizes he has nothing to leverage. No money I need. No support I can't live without. I've built my entire life independent of them, and they're only just now realizing what that means. Grandma Grace rises from her chair, crosses the room, and takes my hand. This party was supposed to be about me. She looks around at the silent guests. But I want everyone to know. This moment, right here, is the best gift I've ever received. Watching my granddaughter stand up for herself. She turns to Mom, her own daughter, with tears in her eyes. Donna, I love you. But you've made mistakes, big ones. Now you have a choice. Spend the next 2 days making excuses, or spend them trying to repair what's left. Mom is crying too hard to speak. I squeeze Grandma's hand and look out at the room, at the relatives, the friends, the witnesses to this reckoning. I'm not abandoning this family, I say clearly. I'm just choosing to go where I'm valued. Dad corners me by the kitchen doorway an hour later. The party has fractured into awkward clusters, relatives making polite excuses to leave early, Grandma holding court with the few who stayed, Mom crying in the bathroom. Stella. His voice is low, intense. This is a mistake. Europe? What kind of career is that? What about health insurance? What about... I have a research stipend, full health coverage, and a 2-year contract. I tick them off on my fingers. My advisor has already connected me with academic networks across 3 continents. My career is more secure than Tyler's, if we're being honest. His jaw tightens. Don't compare yourself to your brother. Why not? You did. For 22 years. He flinches. I've never spoken to him like this. Neither of us knows quite what to do with it. If you do this, he says slowly. If you leave like this. Like what, Dad? With my head held high? With my achievements finally on the table? I mean, he struggles for words. If you leave angry, it'll damage this family. Is that what you want? I take a deep breath. This is the hardest part. Staying calm when every cell in my body wants to scream. I'm not angry, Dad. I'm done. There's a difference. Done? Done waiting for you to see me. Done hoping you'll change. Done making myself smaller so Tyler can feel bigger. I meet his eyes. I wish you well. I really do. But I can't keep putting my life on hold for a family that never made room for me. He opens his mouth to respond. Mouth too. I walk past him, through the kitchen, out the back door into Grandma's garden. The azaleas are blooming. The sun is setting. Somewhere inside, I hear my mother sobbing. I feel strangely at peace. Grandma finds me in the garden as the last guests filter out. She settles onto the bench beside me with a small grunt. Her knees aren't what they used to be. For a long moment, we sit in silence, watching fireflies begin their evening dance. How do you feel? She finally asks. Lighter. I'm surprised to realize it's true. Like I've been carrying a weight I didn't know I had. She nods. I've been carrying one too, the weight of staying silent. She reaches over and takes my hand. I should have said something years ago. I watched them neglect you, and I made excuses. They mean well. Tyler just needs extra attention. I was wrong. Grandma, let me finish. Her grip tightens. What you did today took more courage than I've shown in decades. Standing in front of everyone, speaking your truth, that took guts. I learned it from you. She laughs, a watery sound. Flattery will get you everywhere, young lady. The back door opens. Mom stands there, red-eyed, hesitant. She takes a single step toward us, then stops. Grandma looks at her daughter with an expression I can't quite read. Donna, come here. Mom approaches like a child expecting punishment. She stops a few feet away, unable to meet my eyes. Mama, she whispers, I don't know how to fix this. You start by admitting what you did wrong. Grandma's voice is firm, but not unkind. Not to me. To her. Mom finally looks at me. I see something I've never seen before in her face. Genuine shame. Stella, I'm so sorry. It's not enough. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But it's a beginning. Thank you for saying that, Mom. I keep my voice steady. I need time. A lot of time. She nods, crying fresh tears. Time. That's all I can offer right now. 2 days later, I stand at the international departures gate with one suitcase and a carry-on. My phone has been buzzing non-stop since the party. 47 missed calls from Mom, 12 from Dad, 8 texts from Tyler, ranging from, please call me, to, I understand if you need space, to a simple heart emoji. I haven't answered any of them. The only message I opened was from Grandma Grace, sent this morning. Fly safe, my darling. The world is waiting for you. I love you more than words can say. I replied with my own heart emoji. Some things don't need words. The departure board flashes. LH 401 to Frankfurt, now boarding. I gather my things, join the line of passengers shuffling toward the gate. Around me, families hug goodbye. A mother cries into her son's shoulder. A father shakes hands with his daughter, formal but loving. My goodbye happened 2 days ago, in a living room full of witnesses. There's no one here for me now. That's okay. I scan my boarding pass, walk down the jetway, settle into my window seat. The plane is half empty. A midweek flight to Europe doesn't draw crowds. As we taxi toward the runway, I look out the window at the Texas landscape. Flat. Familiar. The only home I've ever known. Somewhere down there, my parents are waking up to the reality that their daughter is gone. Not dead. Not estranged forever. Just choosing a different path. The engines roar. The ground falls away. I watch the city shrink beneath me. First the highways, then the suburbs, then the distant glint of my parents' neighborhood. Getting smaller and smaller until it disappears entirely. I turn away from the window, close my eyes, and breathe. For the first time in my life, I'm flying towards something instead of running from it. Somewhere over the Atlantic, I pull out my laptop. The cabin is dark, most passengers asleep under thin airline blankets, but I can't rest. My mind is too full, too alive. I open my email and compose a message to Dr. Smith. Dear Professor Smith, I'm on the plane. I made it. Because of you, I'm flying toward a future I never thought possible. Thank you for seeing something in me when no one else did. Thank you for the nomination, for keeping it secret, for believing I deserved a surprise after years of disappointment. I promise to make you proud. Gratefully yours, Stella. I hit send, then sit back and watch the darkness outside my window. Somewhere below is the Atlantic Ocean, vast and unknowable. Somewhere behind me is Texas, my parents, my brother, my old life. And somewhere ahead is Germany, Heidelberg, a research position, a new beginning. My phone vibrates, one last message slipping through before airplane mode kicks in fully. Dr. Smith, I always knew you would. Now go change the world. I smile at the screen, then tuck my phone away. The flight attendant dims the cabin lights further. A few rows ahead, a baby cries briefly, then settles. The engines hum their steady lullaby. I think about my parents, about Mom's tears, Dad's confusion, Tyler's unexpected apology. I think about Grandma Grace in her garden, proud and fierce. I think about the girl I was 6 weeks ago calling home to beg for 2 hours of attention. That girl is gone. In her place is someone new, someone who knows her worth doesn't depend on being seen by people who choose not to look. The sun rises ahead of us, painting the clouds gold. I watch it come, and I let myself hope. If you've ever felt invisible in your own family, if you've ever been the one working 3 jobs while someone else got handed everything, I want you to know you're not alone. Drop a heart emoji in the comments. Let me know you're out there. And if this story hit close to home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes one story can change how we see ourselves. Now, let me tell you what happened next. 6 months later, I'm sitting in my tiny apartment in Heidelberg, papers spread across my desk, the German winter pressing against my window. My research is going well, better than well. Last week, my advisor called my preliminary findings exceptional. My phone buzzes, a video call request from Mom. For weeks after I left, I didn't answer her calls. I needed space. Eventually, we graduated to texts, brief, polite, careful. But this is the first video call in months. I hesitate, then accept. Mom's face fills the screen. She looks different, older somehow, tired. But there's something else too, something I don't recognize. Stella, her voice catches. Thank you for answering. Hi, Mom. I won't keep you long, She takes a shaky breath. I've been going to therapy. Your father and I both have. I don't respond. I'm not sure what to say. The therapist helped me see things. Patterns. The way we treated you versus Tyler. I've been making lists of every memory I can recall and, her voice breaks. I'm so ashamed, Stella. I didn't see it at the time, but looking back, it's so clear. Mom, no, let me finish. Please. She wipes her eyes. I'm not calling to ask you to come home. I'm not calling to make you forgive me. I just needed you to know. I see it now. What we did, what we didn't do, and I'm working on becoming someone who deserves to be your mother. The words hang between us, spanning an ocean. Thank you for telling me that, Mom. Are you happy there? I look around my small apartment. My books, my research, my new life. I'm getting there. Good. She nods, tears streaming. That's all I wanted to hear. 1 year after graduation, I'm standing at a podium in Berlin, presenting my research to an international conference. 300 academics fill the auditorium, professors from Harvard, Oxford, Tokyo, Sao Paulo. They're here to hear about my work on educational inequality. My work. Mine. When I finish, the applause is thunderous. A professor from Columbia approaches afterward, business card in hand. Ms. Whitney, your research is groundbreaking. Have you considered doctoral programs in the States? I smile. I'm keeping my options open. Later that night, I video call Grandma Grace. Her face lights up the screen, 81 years old and still sharp as a tack. How was it, my darling? They loved it, Grandma. I got 3 job offers and a PhD invitation. She claps her hands together. That's my girl! Oh, I wish I could have been there. Me too. Your mother called me yesterday, she says carefully. Asked how you were doing. I know. We talk sometimes now. Not often, but sometimes. And your father? That's harder. I pause. He actually apologized last month. It was awkward and stiff, and he clearly didn't know what to say. But he tried. That's something. It's something, I agree. And Tyler? He didn't make the NFL. I say it without judgment. He's working as a coach at a high school now. We text memes to each other sometimes. It's weird, but nice. Grandma nods slowly. Families are complicated. They are. But you, she points at the screen, you, my darling, are thriving. You took everything they threw at you and turned it into wings. I smile, tears pricking my eyes. I learned from the best, Grandma. Nonsense, she winks. You learned from yourself. I just handed you the match. You're the one who lit the fire. You know, looking back on everything, I finally understand my parents in a way I couldn't before. Dad, Richard, he grew up with dreams of NFL glory that ended with a blown knee in high school. Tyler wasn't just his son. Tyler was his second chance, his do-over, his proof that his dreams weren't dead. He poured everything into that because he couldn't face the alternative, that sometimes dreams just die. Mom, Donna, grew up poor, like government cheese poor. Every decision she made was filtered through one question: will this keep us financially safe? Tyler represented security, a future NFL salary, a ticket out of the fear she'd carried since childhood. Neither of them meant to hurt me. They just didn't see me. Because seeing me would have meant questioning everything they believed about success and safety. And me? My weakness was obvious. I wanted their approval so badly that I kept showing up to a table where there was never a seat for me. I made myself smaller, quieter, easier to ignore, hoping that someday they'd notice. They didn't. Not until I stopped hoping. Here's what I've learned. You cannot wait for people to see your worth. You have to see it yourself. And sometimes, the kindest thing you can do, for yourself and for them, is to walk away. Boundaries aren't walls. They're doors. They let you decide who gets access to your life. If this story resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever had to set boundaries with family? Have you ever felt invisible to the people who were supposed to love you most? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. And if you want more stories like this, click the link in the description. There's a whole community of us out there, learning to see ourselves clearly. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Until next time.